All right, we lead off with World 3, which can be a tricky world depending on the map layout. And okay, there are 6 pipes in World 3. Rhakor actually went straight for the pipe for the level, which is 7-3. Interesting decision on his part. Bagler went for the pipe. Got a couple of giant hammer bros in water, and as Small Mario, that is tricky. But he manages to make it work and gets a cloud for his efforts. Rhakor finished 7-3. Well, so the pipes lead really on top of each other. So as a consequence, Bagler is going to have to play the 4 to proceed. Rhakor, unfortunately, takes a dip in 5-4, while Bagler is dealing with Boom Boom in 4F2. Donut Fort. Ooh, and Rhakor got caught there and unfortunately gets hammered from above. And we have a God pipe for World 3, pretty much. Or it's only really 1 fort, as it turns out, required. And Bagler is at the airship now. The vanilla World 3 airship. So Wendy, though, can be tricky. There is no doubt about that. But she is only a one-hitter today, so a pretty easy fight. And Bagler is out in less than 2 minutes. Rhakor lost his balance there and takes a dip in the lava. So chat, get your predictions in for the next world. We got a World 6 prediction. Certainly a long one, although as my second match last night proved, you can get out of that in under 2 minutes if you get a nice draw. Did not see what the item was. We're in World 4 now. And, ooh, Bagler is ignoring the fort on the side there. I'm not sure about that. Fort in 4-4's location. So, kind of gambling a little here. And Bagler is proceeding. He's going to go for the fort on 4-4. An interesting gamble on his part. Picks up a P-Wing. So Rhakor's got a chance here to catch up a little bit. If this guess turns out to be incorrect, so he's on to the Navy. Bagler had no trouble with Boom Boom at the Navy stage, so now the gamble, does it pay off? Yes, it does. So, Rhakor doing the same thing. Going to the World 7 airship, so a couple of quick worlds for our runners here in the opening. Bagler showing off some of those P-speed strats, gets a nice clip through the wall there. Rhakor is going to arm himself with a P-wing. Give himself a little bit of cushion. Bagler's got to be careful. Iggy and his hitbox are notoriously bad. It's a 5-hit Iggy on top of that. But he manages to keep it together. No one trusts this game anymore. It has to be the far fort. That's an interesting way of looking at it. Rhakor is going to play the second Hammer Bro, and it's a pair of Fire Bros. So neither player has had 80,000 points. Rhakor will be after this fort, and we've got. It looks Bagler played the anchor, which is a random item. Nothing happened, so it appears to be a music box. Bagler, is he going to go for the item? He knows, or he should know, that under rando controls, World 1 fort can never impede your progress to the end of the world. It can make things more difficult, notably in World 2, depending on where its location is. A 5-hitter for Rhakor, and he's out at 558, so about 90 seconds behind. Bagler had to forego the item, which was to be expected. So now we've got the end card, which is shuffled up from its traditional positions, and you saw Bagler kind of just take 4 random cards. Alright, so we're in 3-5 now. Rhakor in the in 1 fort. Let's see if he goes for the item. He certainly can. Oh, I'm not sure what that was. Okay, he's realized that the fort is not required. Unfortunately, his alternative is 5-3, which is a much longer stage than 1 fort. Yeah. Yeah, 5-3 is probably one of the longest non-auto-scrolling stages in Randomizer. We only have 2 auto-scrollers, and this stage, on average, takes about 45 to 50 seconds. Even if you get good P-speed strats, which is not easy because of the enemy draws you could potentially end up with, makes this a rather difficult and potentially unpleasant stage. So the path is clear for Bagler to go down to 1-5. Tile is vanilla. The level is not. It's 3-9. Bagler helps himself to a 1-up there. Let's see if many people go for that. I actually don't know if that's a vanilla item or not. So, to answer chat's question, yes, there are 3 exceptions, however. 5-9 still has an auto-scroller because of its diagonal movement. Atlantis, a lost level, also is an auto-scroller, and 3-7's Coin Heaven, which gets you a hidden item, is also an auto-scroller, but it's a short one. So we have 1-4 for Bagler. Rhakor's done with 3-5. He actually gets a 5-up, and perhaps not a bad idea considering he had 0 lives. So Rhakor's at Air Force. Bagler just finished off 1-4. Is going to do the coin ship. Oh, the coin ship! And Rhakor took a bad hop on that. On that rocky wrench and goes into the abyss. Rhakor playing his first end card. Gets a match off the 10 coins. Bagler got a match as well. Rhakor actually ended up with an extra cloud, which is pretty good for him. So those, I believe those the 20 coins are clouds. Bagler at the vanilla World 1 airship. It's a thick Larry, and we got stun locked there, but holds the line, and it's a 4-hit Larry. So a pretty long World 1 for our runners. Bagler needed 5.5 minutes to get through World 1, so a change of pace after burning through the first 2 in 4.5 minutes. Rhakor is going for it. He is gonna skip the 2 levels, which we know are 3-9 and 1-4. Not a bad choice. I mean, World 1's a good place to use them. Because almost without exception, you're gonna get a straight line to the finish. So I actually like this choice by Rhakor to catch up a little bit. Bagler is in 4-5 in World 5. Which can be really long as a world or really short. Depends on the locks and the forts, and the pipes, for that matter. So Bagler is going to take a look at this pipe. It is not Paradox pipe, so he doesn't have to sacrifice a life here. Okay, so this is going to be an interesting World 5. He might have to make a second. He might have to go back down to the surface unless he picks up a hammer. Bagler had no trouble with 1-2, Angry Sun notwithstanding. Yes, World 3 was the first world domino. It's been 3-4-1-5 so far in the batting order. Bagler finds 5-9. Unfortunately, cannot use a cloud right now because I think he's hoping that somehow this is going to pay off. Oh, Bagler does go off. I'm pretty sure that was intentional. Bagler, unfortunately, does not realize this is Paradox pipe. He is going right back to the tower. So he's got to go back and play that fort. Rhakor, unfortunately, gets hit by bullet bills. So Bagler is going to play the fort, and like clockwork, it is 7F2. AKA Piranha Fort, probably the hardest stage in the vanilla game. And it's not exactly a picnic in Randomizer either. Especially with some of the piranha spawns, it can be really unpleasant for the runners. Bagler tried to do a crouch under there. I think he was trying to go for Curio strats did not work, unfortunately. Oh, the 10 coin was the extra cloud. Rhakor, the flowers are 1-ups. Answer chat's question. This is the first race of 2. Started 15 minutes ago. Rhakor is playing the levels. Bagler's in 2-5. We'll see if he decides to play a stage or 2 Hammer Bros if he wants the items badly enough. Should have the items necessary to make this pretty quick. He's actually going to go back to the end card first. Picks up a... He's picked up a couple of matches here. He could be. Unfortunately, okay, Rhakor I think has realized, or maybe he's realized. Alright, Bagler does have a hammer now, so Bagler actually does not have to play the other fort, which probably, if I know this game well enough, would be 7F1 Fort Knox. Bagler is saying no thank you to the item in 1-3. Rhakor is kind of having to sort of think this through. And we have the World 5 airship. Oh, Rhakor mistimed his jump and unfortunately makes another trip to the drink. Bagler mistimed his jump on Roy. Roy being very bouncy here. He's going. Bagler trying to time it for that 5th hit. Finally gets it. So 2 long worlds in a row for our runners, World 1 and 5. Bagler was able to speed it up a bit thanks to a fortuitous hammer. So we still have... Oh, Rhakor did it again, mistimed his jump. He's having a whale of a time getting his timing down. Now he's got to resort himself to a frog suit. Actually taking a damage boost there, not a bad... Oh, another trip to the drink. Bagler has got to think this through a little bit. Makes the correct decision. Bagler going for did one attempt at the wall jump, but sub-pixel perfect if you're anything other than Small Mario. Did not get it, so he's going to continue on. To answer something in from chat, generally the color of the fort is indicative, although my second match in my second game, my first match, that actually turned out not to be the case because it was a 3-fort World 5. So in that case, all bets are off. All right, does he have a hammer? He does not. And unfortunately, there will be no item here in 610 that will allow him through. So he's going to have to carry on. Unfortunately, we've got a cheap troll in 610. And those guys can be real pains. And Paragoombas aren't making this any easier. Rhakor P-speeding his way through 2-5. Bagler almost to the finish. Had a little bit of a hiccup there at the end, but gets out of it. So 610, note down. Rhakor is going to continue onto the fort, and oh, it is not 7F1, it is 3F1, so a much faster fort. Unfortunately, Rhakor takes a death, and unfortunately, now he's going to have to deal with the 2 Hammer Bros. Bagler, meanwhile, is in Piranha stage number 1. And his prize is a star. Oh, Rhakor again running into the Disco Waffle. Oh, Bagler tried to make a 1 jump there, did not get it in 5F2. Yeah. Rhakor trying to do those P-speed strats from vanilla. They're not working. You might want to reconsider his course here, because he's down to his last life. And could be a little while before he gets another one. So he's going to have to be very defensive here. He's going for the item from door 1. Bagler back to the card. See if we can close this out. Not this time. Rhakor waits for the dry bones to walk past before going into door 5. Yeah, you start from the same world. Any fort you complete still counts. However, any regular level does not. So, uh-oh, this is bad for Rhakor. Okay, got through that. Oh, that's a game over for Rhakor. Now, again, this isn't the worst news in the world. Just because he just has to play this stage. He only has to play two stages again, 4, 5, and 1, 2, and that's not too bad actually. So Bagler's now got to find that southwest island and get to the fort. It's gonna take a minute though. If he's lost, this could take a while. He's found the two pipes to nowhere, unfortunately. Rhakor. And Rhakor picks up a frog suit. Alright, Bagler has found the correct pipe. And to get to the fort, he has to play 5-1, a pretty sedate stage. Again, hidden item in there, but you need a tail or a P-wing. And unless you get really lucky, you're not gonna be able to find your way through. Rhakor almost actually jumped into the pit there. And the gatekeeper, or the lock keeper in this case, is 6F3, aka Carpet Fort. So we got 3 hot feet in here, 1 drunk and 2 normal ones. Rhakor sees 5-9 and looks like he's gonna play it through. There are no fire chains. Shouldn't be too fire chops. It shouldn't be too bad. It's just 45 seconds of jumping. He's got Fire Mario, which makes it pretty easy. Alright, Bagler is retracing his steps back to the Eastern Island. There it is. He's just got to take on 1 Piranha stage. Unfortunately, took a hit there. And Bagler gets a hammer for as his reward. Nice item to have. We still have worlds 2 and 6 to play, and both have high potential for hammer. Is depending on how the pipes and the world layout turns out. Rhakor, nice P-speed there, and 1-3 skips the item. He has no interest. We got about a 1 world difference right now between our runners. As Bagler just finished off Ludwig, a 2-hit Ludwig. So another really long world for Bagler, who is probably wondering, man, where'd all those quick ones go? Because the first 2 took less than 5 minutes. The next 3 have taken 18. Rando will do that to you, though. Some of it is luck, some of it is execution. You know. Rhakor having a little trouble with Roy. Finishes him off. Bagler's in 6-8. So a brutal World 5 for Rhakor. It took him almost 13 minutes. So Bagler in 6F2. Kind of going backwards here from 6-8 to 6F2, and if you're playing the vanilla game. tail makes it pretty easy for him. Rhakor kind of thinking this over, decides to backtrack. This might actually work in his favor. Bagler's going back to finish off the card. And he's not quite getting his matches in. So we'll have to table this for another time. See if we can get another 70,000 between now and the finish before World 8, because there are no end cards in World 8. Rhakor has found the other pipe on the Eastern Island, which is fortunate for him. It lets him skip a level. Bagler's actually going back for the item box. Fortunately, he lost it. And, oh, he takes a hit. He's going back with a tail this time. Bagler trying to sort of power his way through with P-speed strats. Very nicely done there by Bagler. Little crouch jump to get over, crouch jump boost over there to get ahead of that second fire chomp. Alright, so Pipes will let him skip 2 stages. Always a nice feeling. If he has a cloud, he can just zip on through, but apparently he does not. And we'll go on to 5-2. Ooh, Paragoomba trying to knock him down into the pit, but Bagler will not allow it. And Rhakor, nice P-speed execution there in 5F2. Dropsilus, hashtag never go back. There is a lesson to be in that, I think. Bagler, I think, was considering going for the coin ship. I think he wanted a power up before he did it, and really having none other than a hammer suit, which he wants to save for Bowser, and Bagler mistimed his jump and goes right into the flames. So take 2 on this. I had the right idea. He just kind of undershot a couple of his jumps. Much better the second time around. He will help himself to a mushroom. Rhakor sees he's not out of this yet, so we have to carry on. We got a salty Morton, a 4-hit Morton. He gets out at 28-22, so we just have World 6 left. Rhakor has found the pipe successfully and is on to 5-1. We got a frog suit from the princess. Alright, so we've got a fort, 4 levels, and a pipe in its vanilla location. We got a star chain. I think Bagler's kind of hoping for a tail. Let him fly over this section of the level. It was not to be, but so I'll have to do this the slow way. Bagler doesn't have any trouble, though, in 1-6. We'll see if he decides to go back for the fort, or if he's going to gamble that he doesn't need it. And he might not. It's not written in stone. He'll get one more crack at the end card. For sure, and he's in 6-7. I think that was the 7 tile as well, so a kind of a Fred, or a vanilla stage. You're finally right. Well, you know, it had to happen eventually, right? Nice hover strat there by Bagler. to get down, and so Rhakor is moving back towards the eastern island. Bagler, interesting, he ignored it, and we still don't have a fort, and any other forts. We have a couple of 10 tiles, though. Rhakor should be jumping. He's got to jump to shake that Micro Goomba off. Ooh, we got caught by another, and fortunately the power-up despawned. And Rhakor unfortunately got caught there by another Paragoomba. So Bagler got the 1-up, but nothing else. So fortunately he's got to play the fort, and it is Fort Knox, 7F1. So Rhakor trying to power through 610 here. Oh, Rhakor lost his balance and goes into the drink. That's an unfortunate loss. So close to the end. Bagler has his Tanuki suit. Fortunately, the mushroom despawned and Rhakor got caught. Cheap, he barreled in on him. He has no item to make this go faster, unfortunately. Oh, Rhakor got caught again. Rhakor, I think, is trying to sort of use his P-speed strats that he knows from Warpless to kind of power through. They're not working, unfortunately. And, oh, we got hit again. 1-5 beta for Bagler. Rhakor's down to his last life again. He's already game overed once. Oh, Cheap got him. The only saving grace is he actually doesn't really lose that much in terms of time because it was mostly a straight shot to that pipe. So Bagler is on the final airship, World 2. Fortunately, he does not get a reprieve with the items, so he's going to have to do 610 and hope that he can sufficiently bounce back here. I think he's just going to go for it, which I think is probably the smartest move here. One hit Lemmy at 33-17. All right, chat, get your predictions in. How many bridges are going to be needed to get to Bowser? It could be anywhere from 0 to 4. Now we've got 4 pipes up front. There's an Air Force right there. Bagler is going to play it, which I think is a good move. It's a one-off, basically. You don't have to come back to this area ever again. Bagler, unfortunately, will not be able to get that Fire Flower, so he'll have to just P-speed his way through this. Rhakor on the World 6 airship. Hopefully Ludwig is kind to him, and he is, so just needing 2 hits, so he's out at 34-31. So another tough world for Rhakor. A game over really set him back. He could have gained a little bit of time there on Bagler. How can it be 4? It can be. So Bagler gets a fairly linear draw here with the pipes. got a cloud in his arsenal, which could be useful. It's unlikely, but possible. So the pipes are looping into one another. So we got a fairly linear 8 here. Bagler in a 5-3 beta stage, and actually this frog suit's pretty well suited for it because the second half is underwater. Bagler is an accomplished frog percent runner, so you saw those skills on display, but he has gotten rid of it because it's no longer really useful for anything else. Bagler gets grabbed by the hand there, and, well, what do you know? It's a Fred in every sense of the word. This is the second-hand stage and the second-hand stage location. Gotta love it. And it's an anchor, which I believe is a music box. So, Bagler is going to take a look at the item, and it is 2 bridges required to get out of here. Is it super tanks? Nope. Gotta go back. Now, normally clouds aren't useful. This is a good spot to use one. Bagler's just getting all sorts of irritated. He's going to play 8-2. I actually would have used the cloud here just to gamble. If that tank sprite is just a regular level, take the 100 coin fine and just be on your way. No harm, no foul. You don't have to play 2 stages as a result, but that's the kind of strat you rarely see. But we'll find out. All right, 5-7 was no trouble. On to the tank or super tank sprite, and it is a fort, 8 fort. So Bagler is justified in playing that extra stage. We only if this isn't it, then it's 8. Then it's the actual 8 fort sprite, and it's somewhere in the dark area. We did not. Don't think he's gonna get there. And oh, Bagler barely gets in on time. Thought he might have stuttered too much. He did not, and he is through. All right, back to the final area. Is this it? It is not. It is 8 fort sprite, so he's got to go back to the dark area. We only saw about half of the map, so wherever it is. Well, there it is, so didn't have to look too far, and the gatekeeper today is 2 fort. Rhakor, meanwhile, and the World 4 airship is going to wait this out. A little gun-shy after kind of an ordeal in the last 2 worlds. He's out at 39.30. Bagler finishes off the last fort. And will make his way now to take on Bowser. He has a hammer suit. He's been saving it all this time for this moment. What if there was points randomizer? We've talked about that. We just don't really see a viable way of doing it right now. Nice wall clip by Rhakor. Unfortunately, forgets that, yeah, this does not work, and that jump does not work in 1/6. Hardly ever. It's got 3 hammers. Bagler went for 1 wall clip, decided, nope, not worth it. Rhakor unfortunately takes a death there. Bagler got hit in the face by a couple of fireballs, so no hammer kill today. But luckily, the old edict is still true. Bowser's hitbox is broken. World 7. World 3 was the first world today. So 2 more jumps, and Bagler will be bringing it home. Rhakor, meanwhile, having no fun whatsoever in 1/6 with those fire chomps. So get out your GGs for the Bagler, who wins his first match of this tournament in fairly decisive fashion. Finishing with an official race time of 41:41. So GG's to the Bagler. Rhakor got double fire bros and ran right into them. He did it again. Fortunately, does not have the items to really make this work, so he's going to have to go to 6-7, which is 6-7. Uh-oh, Rhakor lost his footing on the donut as it fell, and unfortunately, that is a death. Tough thing, we'll see. It's happened to all of us at least once. Those donuts can be a little finicky, especially with ice physics. Rhakor more successful the second time around. Rhakor gets double fire bros this time, but uses a damage boost to get rid of them. Alright, let's see if he goes for the lock here. I think he will. He's got 3 hammers as stated, so this should take him pretty far along. And hammers do break locks, so he's able to skip that fort, which was 6F2. He's in 1.5 beta. Not an especially difficult stage, but can have some of those piranhas at the end can have some nasty patterns that can trip you up if you're not careful. Rhakor seems to be handling it just fine. He's out. Very nicely done. So it'll be a straight shot from here to the World 2 airship. Rhakor is saying no thanks to the end card. I think he Knows there's really nothing. There was a cloud on the 10 coins, but other than that, did not seem to hold a lot as far as items were concerned. Rhakor is going to have to do this as small Mario, but I'm pretty sure that was a one-hit Lemmy, so this shouldn't be too difficult. Yep. So Rhakor is done at 45-32, so it was a long World 8 for Bagler, a lot of back and forth. Took over 8 minutes. See how Rhakor fares. Rhakor decides not to play Air Force. He's going to take a look at the other pipes. He's going to do Recon first. Which actually really doesn't hurt him all that much because of the way this whole setup is. Okay, so that's where that lock was. That's where Air Force, I think, was protecting him. Although he has an extra hammer, he could use it if he so chooses. This puts him on the bridge. Rhakor's got a couple of decisions to make here. What does he decide? Is he going to break that lock? Or... okay, there's another lock. I think that was Super Tanks. Wow, he dodges... Does a nice job dodging those hands. He could have gotten grabbed twice. Unfortunately, clouds do not work on sprites like that. They only work on regular stages and forts. Rhakor taking a death there. I don't believe that was intentional. He's going back for another round. Yeah, unfortunately, there are no power-ups in this stage. You gotta play it as it is. Nice dodge there by Rhakor getting out of the stage. He avoids the hand stage, which was a hand. Alright, so... Actually, now I'm starting to wonder, trying to remember how Bagler did this. Air Force might actually be one of the bridges. Aid Fort certainly, definitely is. Rhakor is going to have to play 5-7 here. Watch out for the spiny. Ooh, got caught on that one. But powers through 5-7. Nicely done. Yeah, now the more I think about it, yeah, Air Force and 8 Fort sprites are the ones holding the aces here as far as bridges. Rhakor a little unsure of himself here in 8-4, trying to navigate these disco waffles and that drunk hotfoot. Oh, unfortunately takes a dip into the drink. Alright, Rhakor, we're going to try this again. Skips an item box, it might have been useful, but it's going to carry on through. Bagler did this one cycle successfully. Rhakor opting not to go for it. Could have, but it would have been really tight. Well, he can get a star, he can get an orb on Boom Boom. He's got to hurry. And does. Very nice. So that takes care of one of the four. That takes care of, I think, the two non-essential forts. Now he's got to backtrack. That's 2 forts, so the other fort was 5F1. So 5F1 and 2 fort are gatekeepers today. So after this, Bagler and Rhakor, after they finish their second match, which will proceed right after this one, they will have to play the Haxor and Disaster Kadi in their other group play matches. Haxor is pretty well known in vanilla and rando communities as a very strong player. He finished 4th last year in the Randomizer tournament, losing 3-2 to Paradox. So, a very strong player. Disaster Kadi, that's going to be an interesting, an unknown variable for sure. We'll see how this affects the brackets and the group play overall. We have a lot of new faces in this year's tournament. A lot of vanilla players, primarily vanilla players like Bagler and Rhakor. Rhakor, I don't know what he's doing now. He seems to have forgotten where to go. He's an 8-1 now. Trying to set a piece speed, did not quite get it, so he's going to have to... Luckily no hot foot standing in the way, but Fire Nipper, though, always a hoot and a half. Yeah, it's been so long, I think, since he went that... Oh, he got caught by the second hand, so his hand luck has come to a screeching halt here. He managed to go like 4 passes around that second hand without getting caught, but no such luck here in 2-1. So yeah, he's got to go back to Air Force. See how long it takes him to wind the path back. There he goes. The general rule, as far as rando strats are concerned, is like if you have like one of those one-off forts, you just do it in these kinds of locations, just because you don't want to have to come back if you can help it. You know, this location for Air Force is a good example. In the opening section, if you have a for sure fort and you got a couple of pipes, just play it. Rhakor taking a death there. Have to do this again. He's arming himself with his hammer suit. He's down to his last life. He really can't get any other extra power-ups. Well, he can get a fire flower, I suppose, but okay, well, he picked up a leaf there. That's helpful. Gives him a little bit of breathing room. Try to do a wall jump here. That really does not work here. Rhakor's kind of panicking a little bit. Like he wants to get out of this stage alive, and now he's in real trouble. He cannot get hit the rest of this stage. Alright, he's through. Alright, just one stage left. He's got to get to... Well, he might have to play the hand stage, but that was a hand, so no problem. Yeah, it was close. Rhakor out of items. And true to form, he gets caught. Luckily, this is a pretty easy stage, and he gets a free item out of the deal. Unfortunately, that item is utterly useless. Unless he wants to listen to music box notes. Alright. So this at least from a strategy standpoint should not feel too different for Rhakor, and he gets an extra life if anything happens. Just got to get past the hot foot. Good to go. So he's going to be taking nice and easy here. Okay, got his extra life. Gonna take it easy with the disco waffles. There's really no randomness to the fireballs. Okay, gets a power up to give himself a little bit of a breather. See if he can do the clip. He knows the fireballs are unpredictable in the final room, so if he can avoid this, I think he will. Well, that was a good jump. I think it was just a little early. He's going at it. Oh, he falls off. Now he's got to go... Unfortunately, he's got to go bottom route now. Don't think you can do that. So, yeah, he's going to have to go bottom route. Now, the good news is there is a power-up here. Just got to watch out for the lasers. Lasers are randomized. Fireballs are kind of tricky here in the top route. Rhakor taking it very slow, very safe. Wait for these fireballs to pass. No laser at the end. Alright, he's through. So, five jumps and he's out of here. Alright, so get out the GGs for Rhakor. Finishes what I'm sure was an ordeal for him at 1 hour and 42 seconds. So GGs to Rhakor. Alright, so 1 down, 1 to go. We're going to start Game 2 in a few minutes. Game 2 will be the same settings as this, but end cards will be turned off. So we'll see how that affects our runners as they get ready for another round of this. So stay tuned. We'll be back in a few minutes. Alright, we are back for Game 2 of this Game 2 of this double round robin between the Bagler and Rhakor. For those of you who missed the first game, both of our runners ran into some obstacles in their Tourney Flags 2 match. I think a couple of veterans of the Warpless game were having a little trouble acclimating to the randomizer and had a few unforced errors as a result, but they powered through and were able to finish Bagler with a pretty strong 41-41 on a seed that started off quick but got really long really fast. So we'll see what happens here in Game 2, which will have no end cards, but will be the standard randomizer you all know and love. So our runners have been given the green light, and they will be starting in a moment. So get your chat predictions in chat for the first world we're going to see today. I'm going to say 7, because I'm a sadist that way. We got a World 4, a 3. We got a 6. And also while we wait, do give our runners a follow today. If you enjoy Mario 3, they certainly play a lot of it. And you can give me a follow as well, if you're so inclined, but do start with our runners. All right, should be about ready to roll here. And it is World 6, so Caton is correct. So we've got 2 forts. We got a fort and a pipe up front. Rhakor taking a quick death, and just as well, that fort is required. And so we have 6F1 leading off. Oh, Bagler going for the speed strat. Unfortunately missed the jump and takes a dip into the lava. Rhakor is not going for the speed strat. Bagler had it, but then he lost his footing. He overcompensated. Oh, Rhakor taking getting hit by a disco waffle. All right, Bagler finally has what he was looking for. Bagler trying to get around these disco waffles. Rhakor not apparently realizing you can just drop straight down, but he gets through. Bagler says no thank you to the leaf. He wants Fire Mario for a quick kill on Boom Boom. Alright, so that breaks the lock up front. Bagler is going to take on the Hammer Bro, and Hammer Bro is clipped into the wall there, unfortunately. So not a quick kill, but gets a cloud for his troubles. That could be very useful. So we have 6-3 6-3 in a kind of a quasi-vanilla location. 6-3, it can be tricky with some of these enemy spawns, but nothing too bad. Rhakor, oh, Bagler lost his footing, goes into the drink. So unfortunately for him, he's gonna have to do that again, and he was close to the finish. Nothing, few things are worse than that. Have a worse feeling than that. Double star for Rhakor, so he'll have no trouble finishing off 1-2. So our runners went in two different directions. Rhakor is going to stop for a mushroom house. Not a bad idea considering there are a lot of there aren't any end cards in this seed, so you got to be mindful of your items. Rhakor got a fire flower. Bagler got a mushroom. We have 8-2 with a cheap. And cheap can be a bit of a pain here. So they're gonna stop and get it. Oh, Bagler got hit in the face there by cheap on his way to the item, which will be a mushroom for him. A tail for Rhakor. Rhakor actually taking a hit there to the piranha. I think it looks like it was intentional. Bagler just runs off the edge and gets through, no problem. So a solid 8-2 for our runners. Both of them taking the Sands of Shame. But given that cheap there, I don't blame them. I'd probably have done the same. Both of them go to the 6-5 spot, which is a quicksand stage. With a cheap, so P-speed strats will be a little more difficult than normal. And Rhakor, unfortunately, getting hit in the face there. Bagler taking a 5-up. I think that was intentional. Rhakor is going to get some coins here and hopefully knows the extra life as well. Oh, Bagler making my mistake and jumping too early on that block. Rhakor. Oh, Bagler unfortunately got caught. Rhakor picks up a hammer. That could be useful. Rhakor going back for the quicksand stage again. Bagler picking up another mushroom off of a spot. What is normally a hammer suit in vanilla. Not this time, though. Nice jump there by Rhakor at the end to get rid of him. So Bagler's now going to go play the coin ship, get his hammer. So Rhakor picks up a fire flower again. So he's actually having pretty good luck with his items so far. So 6-3 today is 5-4. Yeah, if they get their P-speed strats to work, the stage shouldn't be too difficult. Rhakor kind of slammed on the brakes a little bit. Had a fire nipper on top of that, so probably not a bad idea. This seed already? Yeah, this seed has tested our runners a bit. They're not as familiar with Rando and some of its patterns, so a lot of what they kind of take for granted is kind of being, they're kind of getting hit pretty hard by it right now in the early goings. But Bagler doing a very nice job with P-speed strats on the tank stage, really just barreling through it. He gets a fire flower for his efforts, so a nice bonus there for Bagler, and he's going to go to the pipe, knowing that it's going to take him to the eastern, to the far east side, and gets to skip a level for his trouble. So only a 1-fort World 6. That's interesting. Bagler is armed with the Fire Flower. Getting a fire kill on Lemmy on this airship, though, is difficult. Not impossible, but it is probably the most difficult of the seven. The way you do it basically is you jump up close and then spam him with fireballs, then jump to the other side of him as his iframes are recovering, and then take care of him there. And oh, Bagler's in a bit of trouble here. It's a 5-hit Lemmy on top of everything else. Finally gets rid of him. So nice job by Bagler holding the line there. So Rhakor on now to try again. He's got Fire Mario this time. Chat's already predicting World 2. I will say 5. Got a star from the princess. Rhakor playing it pretty safe here. He's got 4 hits on him now. And World 4 it is. Oh, I thought that was 4. Oh, Rhakor, no! And Bagler, as Small Mario, finds Fort Knox. That's not what you want to see. This is gonna take over 1 minute, guaranteed. Doesn't matter how fast you do it, it's gonna be the same. It's gonna take over a minute. All right, so Rhakor again gonna try. If you time your jumps right, you can keep it to 1 ball, but it's not. It's a delicate bit of timing. It takes an 8 count to make it work, and Rhakor's down to his last life now. Rhakor is in real trouble now. Bagler, with his Tanuki suit, flies up. Nice little bit of swag there by Bagler. Uh-oh, that's not good. A quick World 2 for... Oh, Rhakor takes a game over. That is really bad. So he's going to have to start over. Unfortunately, he's going to have to do a lot of this again. Meanwhile, we got a thick but weak Iggy. So get out your commands in chat. Who rolled this seed? I did. So I had to make up for my seeds yesterday being soft. Apparently. Bagler in 3-2. Rhakor kind of doing a bit of a dance here. Get around those piranhas. Oh, Rhakor! Oh, man. I did God's work. Well, Tell that to the runners. They didn't hate me before, they sure do now. Oh, Rhakor again getting cheaped. Does Bagler have 2 hammers? You could actually double hammer that spot if you wanted. Bagler in 6-5, one of 2 stages that require you to have the ability to fly to complete the stage. Rhakor, getting... Oh, boy. He just burned a cloud, unfortunately. And Bagler took a hit, so he's got to reset and do this again. Rhakor getting hit by... Getting smacked there by Cheap going down the sands of shame. It's gonna, yeah, Bagler having a little trouble with his spawns on that fire chomp. He keeps turning left. He's got to go the opposite direction. We saw this in an earlier match. You know, his inclination is to turn left, and that's the wrong direction. Well, Rhakor found 7-6 as Small Mario. He's got to play this. Oh, Bagler just managing to hang on long enough. A second game over for Rhakor, unfortunately. For the moment, he has opted to continue. Neither runner is a particular fan of this seed. I do know that much. That's the way it goes sometimes. We have no end cards. You lose a major potential safety there. And our runners... Nice double kill there on the hammer on the boomerang bros by Bagler. He's gonna have to do a 4 straw now, though. Yep. Giant hammer bros this time. Another nice 1-2 combo on them. There's a leaf for Rhakor. That could be useful. And Bagler onto the airship now. Gotta look at his inventory again. I think he had double hammer. Could have skipped all of this, I think, and gone straight to the finish. Would have been a god, World 2. World 3. And a one-hit Wendy. 16-15 for Bagler. So we've had Worlds 6, 4, and 3. Chat, what's next? Got a 5, 7, and 1. Anyone going to go for 2? I'll take 2. And it is 5. This is not a particularly kind... well, this could work to his favor, actually. Rhakor picking up a 5 up there. I don't blame him. He's not wanting to do this. Again, if he can help it. Bagler in 1 fort, which, again, not required. So, we'll see how this breaks down. Another leaf for Rhakor. Rhakor, unfortunately, kind of mistimed it, but with the tail, has no trouble there. Alright, that creates the bridge. So now... I like what Bagler's doing here. I think he's gambling that there might not be anything in his way on the other side. So this might not be a bad decision to proceed forward. If you're wrong, and it just costs you a little bit of backtracking. It's not like he has to play the tower twice, which can happen, incidentally, depending on the draw. Bagler giving his opinion to Boss Bass there with a couple of fireballs. A couple of fireballs traded there, and Bagler finishes them off. Rhakor unfortunately takes a death there and tanks. Alright, so let's see what we got on the sky section here. Oh, this works out very nicely. So Bagler makes a good routing decision and saves himself some trouble here. Not having to play an extra level in fort. And has no trouble in 2-5. It's just a coin ship on the way, but that's not a big deal. Bagler onto 2-2 now. Pretty straightforward stage. Alright, Rhakor back to Lemmy this time. It was a 5-hit Lemmy, which really complicated matters for him, and he's not as familiar with the timing to keep those balls from spawning ad nauseum. So let's see if he can get it this time. So 3 hits, 2 more. Oh! Does not work out. 7-3 for Bagler. Yeah, his timing, he doesn't quite have the timing down for Lemmy. It's a tricky thing to learn. Same with Wendy, because of her objects. You gotta have a pretty good handle on the timing to make this work. In the World 4 airship now for Bagler. Okay, 1 more hit. And he's finally out of there. At 21-17. Meanwhile, Roy is a normal weighted Koopa today and a 3-hitter. It's 21-30 for Bagler. Alright, so we've still got worlds 1, 2, and 7 to play. What's it going to be, chat? I will say 1. And it is 2. We're in 5-1 to lead off World 2. Bagler helping himself to a Fire Flower in a spot where you normally don't see players go to get power-ups, but worked out pretty well there. Rhakor has 2 hammers to play with. Unfortunately, neither is going to be useful here, but this is a quick World 4, and Rhakor actually gets some good fortune coming his way with the power-up that he picked up off the Mushroom House. So, Bagler, good choice here using the hammer. This is going to save him a lot of back and forth here. He's got 3 of them anyway. Bagler, I think, was considering using the hammer, or using the cloud there, which actually would not have been a bad choice, because it's not like there's anything in your way. So, Rhakor on the airship now. Gonna have to deal with a thick but weak Iggy. A one-hit Iggy. Bagler going for the 1 cycle, gets it. So Rhakor down 2 worlds in the span of 2 minutes. Bagler armed himself with a P-Wing, and a good choice, considering this is the World 7 airship, and this is a stage where having a P-Wing is not a bad idea, actually. Greatest comeback of all time? Well, based on their splits from World 2, Bagler is 13 minutes ahead. A lot of things have to happen for the greatest comeback of all time to occur. But, we shall see. So, Bagler is done with Morton at 24:36. Rhakor has 2 hammers. Unfortunately, both of them are missing a major skip here. You want to talk about saving time, that would have done it. Got a diabolically designed World 1 here. And Bagler is going to use his hammers here. Just get through this. He's going to play the Ford, and it's 4F1. Rhakor helping himself to a extra lives, and Bagler is going to get an orb kill on Boom Boom. Rhakor in 6-5 now. There's a cloud for Bagler. He's got two of them now. He might want to consider using them in World 7. Bagler takes a hit there on the World 5 airship. Missed the jump for P-Speed. Rhakor's going for the clip in the wall there. It's a very tight bit of movement, but is doable. He's well short on his jumps, unfortunately. You're not entirely wrong, Europsilus. There is something to be said for that. And that was not a nice setup at all. I think Coordinator is right, though. I think it's only attainable with P-Speed. Alright, so Bagler now learning the art form of World 7 navigation. He's going to play the Ford up front, and it's 3F2. Which is not a bad choice anyways, you know, added intel. Rhakor kind of waiting this out. He's got a couple of fire chomps to contend with. Oh, Rhakor is making the same mistake as Bagler. His initial reflex is to go left, not right. One of those. Oh, he got hit again. It's one of those situational plays you really have to just kind of adapt to. All right, Bagler gonna play this pipe, and where will this take him? And the lock in the North Central Island is broken, so there is that. Okay, there's another lock there, so he is gonna have to play that fort. Or maybe he's got an extra hammer. Rhakor, just having no fun at all here. He's trying to go for the P-Speed strat again. Bagler, I think, has confirmed his route more or less. He's gonna he's gonna cloud here. Does he have an extra hammer? I don't know if he has a hand. Okay, 1-4. He does not have a hammer. He's got to go back. Unless that piranha's got a hammer, yeah, he's gonna have to turn back. And tilt. Oh, his tail strats are not doing him any favors, unfortunately. Oh, he had it. The fire chomp froze him. So yeah. Yeah, I think Rhakor is going to time out. So unfortunately, Bagler burned a hammer, a cloud for, and unfortunately, he's going to have to play 7-8 now. Nice jump there. So Bagler's gonna have a frog suit here. We're getting another one up, because why not? Alright, he finally gets the correct option here, and finally is out of here with just seconds to spare on the clock. Bagler tried the pause strat, did not quite get it though. He was a little too low to the ground. Bagler arming himself with a frog suit, I think just for damage boost purposes. Bagler in the super tank stage, pretty straightforward. This will get him to Bowser, to Ludwig, then to Bowser. Bowser's after this. Alright, bridge is created, lock is broken. Bagler correctly remembering which pipe, and here we go, on to Ludwig. Got a hammer suit for the World 6 airship. Fortunately, he loses said hammer suit. A one-hit Ludwig, and that will do it for Bagler in World 7, 34-38. Almost 8 minutes, that world. A lot of backtracking for him. Rhakor at the airship now. Okay, we got 2 bridges. Nice swag kill there by Rhakor. So Bagler's got 1, potentially 2 forts, I believe, that could get him through. It will not, well, it's possible, but it's pretty unlikely. Alright, let's see what breaks here. Alright, that takes care of the lock up top. Is this a fort? Yes, it is. 5F2. So potentially 1 bridge could be built here. Rhakor sees Paradox Pipe, and well, he's got a couple of hammers. He's going to use one here, and this is actually a good choice on his part. He's missing out on 1 fort in the potential item, but hey. Alright, so that takes care of that. He's going to check the other pipe now, I believe, and see where this leads him. Okay, there's regular tanks. That does not create anything. There is a lock behind it, so it may well be required, though. Because 8 fort could be behind there. There's 8 fort, never mind. That's 6F2. So if this does not break the lock in the corner there, he's golden. He can go straight to Bowser. If not, he's going to have to find, I believe it's the Air Force sprite, which will be on the hand bridge somewhere. or thereabouts. Oh, Rhakor getting killed by Boomerang Bros. So no coin ship for him. Alright, moment of truth. Alright, he's set. Just gotta get to past this hand stage and on to Bowser. It looks like he's just gonna play it. Another 5 up for Rhakor. Wrong pipe. Was the one on the far left. Rhakor kind of just muscling his way through 2-2 there. Alright, so Bagler with his hammer suit has a shot at sub 40. If you can get gets a clean sheet here. Every man clip, no problem. Ooh, Bagler lost his jump there, and Rhakor takes a death in 7-3. All right, he gets the clip. Very nicely done by Bagler. And he will have 5 hammers to Bowser's head, and Rhakor. Poor Rhakor. There it is. If it's not sub 40, it's going to be really close. As Bagler moves to 2-0 in group play with a sweep of Rhakor here, and get out the GGs. For Bagler, who finishes with an official race time of 40 minutes on the nose. So get out the GGs for Bagler. So Rhakor has forfeited. I think he's had enough of this. I think he's had enough of Lemmy, that's for sure. So do give our runners a follow. You can give me a follow as well if you're so inclined. But see if our runners are interested in an interview. Ah, there he is. And we are joined by our winner of today's race, the Bagler. Welcome, GG.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for hosting. That that second seed was really something, huh?
Yeah, there were some pretty rough levels. Levels themselves may not have been so bad, but the enemy spawns you guys were drawing 6-5 in particular with those chomps was making life miserable for both of you.
Yeah, that's always such a brutal one, and it's always those fire snake guys or the fire chomps. That one guy kept respawning, and I couldn't build my P speed. I was like, what do I do?
Yeah, that's one of those things where I know the natural inclination is to turn left. You actually have to turn right, and a lot of runners who are new to the randomizer, like I know like the natural things like you go left then right. In this case, you got to go right then left to avoid the respawn.
Yeah, I didn't come up with that until after the fact. I was like, maybe I should try going the other way, but what I ended up doing was I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna break everything. I'm just gonna go super far to the left, and I'm gonna gamble that there's not gonna be any nippers up there. And then it ended up being a fire snake, and luckily I had gotten burned by that fire snake, no pun intended, the other day in a seed. So I was watching out for him, you know. So
Yeah, you had just enough P speed to get over, and yeah, that is what it is. Although one thing, both of you missed this in World 3, where that 6-5 was. If you had double hammered those boulders, you had gotten a straight shot to it.
Yeah, I saw that after I finished that awful level. I was like, oh wait, I have 2 hammers.
I didn't realize I had 2 hammers at that point either. That's always such a gamble, the double hammer there.
Yeah.
But, I was like, screw it, man. I'm just gonna go.
As it turned out, that would have gotten you. That would have made it a God World 3. But yeah, that is very rare to actually pay off. But that's definitely one of those cases where it would have in this case.
Right. Those are the kind of decisions that I'm really bad at making. You know, in the moment. That was what you said, World 2 maybe. That was one of the very first worlds, the one that looked like World 3, and
yeah,
I was so pissed off at that that first world that I was just on autopilot for that. I didn't even think twice.
Yeah, it was not the most generous of seeds. Neither was really the first seed. You know, had a fast start and then it just made you work.
Right. This one, it was a little front heavy on this one. It kind of settled down a bit towards the end. That I forgot where I was going in the pipe world a couple of times. I was like, oh my gosh, you know, I gambled clouding over that one level, which ended up being 7-8, full of those fire piranhas. So if that had worked out, I would have been happy about that, I guess. But I ended up having to backtrack and play it anyway.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, one of those things where it is a very much of a calculated risk, and it's like it can work for you, it can work against you. Unfortunately, in this case, you know, if you had burned all your hammers in World 1, it's like that's where it's like, ooh, yeah, it's like.
Yeah.
If that had been the case, you would have sailed right through to the finish line and wouldn't have taken 8 minutes. It might have taken 4 or 5, but it is one of those. It is one of those things for sure.
Yeah, I saw all those forts in World 1, and I don't know what I was thinking. I was just kind of like, I don't want to deal with this. Like, I don't want to play a bunch of extra levels and all this stuff. So I just blasted through.
Yeah, I get it, and I think the thing I myself would have done, I'd played the fort in 1-1 and taken the 66% chance that it's going to break one of those locks. Then I would have just done what you did and just run all over everything else.
Yeah, that was probably a good idea. I think the double hammer there was a little bit silly on my part for sure.
Well,
especially with the fort right there.
Well, it is what it is. I mean, I get it in the context that you just want to get, a little bit of momentum going there because the world before that was pretty quick. So you just kind of wanted to carry the momentum. But
yeah, that's
so,
something I'm really bad at about analyzing the maps. That's something that like you said, like I didn't even think about it. Oh, it's a 66% chance I get through one of those locks, right? So
right.
So that's something I can't really. I'm not as good as of thinking about, but hopefully that'll come with experience.
Yeah, Well, Rhakor made a good call in World 5. Breaking that lock in that bottom spot and running right through to the finish line. That worked out pretty well for him.
I think that was the only good thing I did. The first problem was at the very first race in the first level I completely oversaw the pipe and played the level. And I was like, and then I finished the level, and then I realized, wait, there's a pipe. And then skipped the entire world, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's one of those things. It is. You're kind of having to rewrite a lot of that muscle memory. Like, yeah, that's not gonna work here.
Yeah,
so,
and I wanted to do way too much P-speed strats.
Yeah.
And what are those stupid fish spawns?
Oh yeah, the cheat.
Oh my god! In A2.
Yeah, A2 and quick A2 and quicksand. Yeah, they were giving you the business for sure. Everybody likes to talk about boss bass, but the truth is the cheaps are generally worse because at least with boss bass you can kind of manipulate him a bit and keep him in one place at all times. Cheaps, you can't do that, unfortunately. So if you get 7-5 with cheap, it's like, oh no. It's like, there are few things worse than that, and that's like, the nuclear situation.
Yeah, thankfully, I don't think we had to play 7-5 in this one. I suck at that level just in vanilla, so
yeah.
Holy crap! When you add the cheaps and the there's always spinies and stuff down there.
Yeah.
There was
a 5-9, but it was a pretty gentle 5-9. Yeah, no 6-6, no 7-1. 7-6 popped up, but was not played through. 7-8 popped up. That Atlantis didn't show up. So in terms of levels, all things being equal, could have been worse, but you guys ended up getting a lot of levels with some pretty unpleasant spawns. So sorry, the seed had to make up for me giving really gentle seeds yesterday.
Yeah, no, it's all good. You're right. It could have been much worse in terms of level selection.
Yeah.
But good.
Well, thanks.
Good.
Well, GG's guys. Thanks for the race, and again, give our runners a follow if you haven't already. And give me Pro8007 a follow as well. Real quick before we wrap this up, we have at least one match every day for the next 5 days. Tomorrow at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, we have Tapatio J versus the Alan Heffley, a couple of randomizer veterans. Tuesday, 3 p.m. Eastern, we have JLo 7 versus Prior 57. Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, we have Europsilus versus the Ricky 5. Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern, we have Dave Lindo versus JLo 7. And Friday, we have 2019 champion Macobra 52 making his debut versus Dom in a Group A match at 7 p.m. Eastern. That should be a very good match. A couple of see how the vanilla player does versus the rando veteran. So that'll be a good one, I think. So, well, thanks all for watching, and thanks to Speed Gaming as always for hosting us and giving this tournament the exposure and attention. And we'll see you all tomorrow for more Mario 3 rando action. So have a good one, everybody.
Thanks again, everyone. See y'all later. GG's, Rhakor.
Thank you. Yeah,
GG's.
GG.